I've always felt different. I've always seen things, but when I tried to express them as a child, I was always told to ignore it.
There were people that I didn't know that came to me and said, I had this message that I keep getting that I have to deliver to you.
All of a sudden, out of the shadows, a homeless man just jumped right in front of me. And he said, I'm a soul just like you.
I love it.
I wanted to understand the universe and who and what we are and what are we doing here.
We're all part of this amazing soul wave tapping into each other.
This was a major life changer.
You are a light. You have helped me a ton. Thank you.
You've given me the courage to live more from my soul.
Millions of people are awakening. So wake up with Michele Meiche. Be pleased to hear the best-selling authors and experts in the fields of cutting-edge self-help, personal growth, metaphysics, and spirituality. The soul path of awakening. Understand what living awake is.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear the boil of my little Corsi Cosori, my Cosori electric tea kettle. I am getting my decaf latte. Everyone get your snackies, get your drinkies of choice. And join me. Of course, it's midday in California. So wherever you are, hi in the chat, hi in the line. Got Jay Styling in there. How you doing? Okay, let me know, please, how my sound is. I'm on a different mic. It's so hard because the program, the Blog Talk Radio program, there's a bit of a delay. So I'm trying to see different options with sound to see if I can have less of a delay. All right, if you happen to be new to this podcast, glad you found this. Got a great community here, great people, get great guests on. Very open to input also if you want it. All of you, any of you, if you've been listening for a while or you're just new to the podcast, if you have any comments, suggestions, topic suggestions, guest suggestions, something you want more of, less of, email me at awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you want to find out more happenings of what I'm doing, you can also email there, awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. Also, love to have you over at Instagram to connect with me. Follow me on Instagram and also YouTube to subscribe. Doing some fun things on YouTube and getting into some shorts as well. Doing little clips and shorts and more pick a card reading there. So if that's something that you're interested in, just mosey on over there and subscribe and get the notifications. Other ways to connect with me, of course, Patreon, Soul Playground, MentorCam. But I'm really doing a lot more on Instagram and my YouTube channel, combining in here with Awakenings. And got some good things coming up in the next few months that I can't wait to talk to you all about. All right, if you want to listen by chat, that's fine. If you want to connect by phone, that number is 347-539-5122. Press 1 on the keypad. 347-539-5122. Press 1 on the keypad if you want to get on air. And then make sure you don't walk too far from the phone, right? Okay, second half of the program, we're going to have Catherine Shainberg on. We're going to be talking about the Kabbalah of light and diving into other things, metaphysical, transpersonal. She's also a transpersonal psychologist, which I am as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Michele, there was a little lag in the chat, so others might join in soon. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've had last week, people told me they couldn't get in the chat, so that was interesting. Some couldn't access it, some it booted them out. So anyway, Jay, how's my sound? Let me know how my sound. How's the sound? How's the sound? I want to talk about the energy shifts. I've been talking about it in the pick-a cards. I've been talking about it on Instagram, of course, Patreon. and my other workshops and things, I've been talking about it a lot and kind of preparing people for this. I mean, it's a very, I cannot underscore how important this time is and how transformative it can be if you follow the energy, if you align to the energy. I know for some it is a little bit, you hear me moving around, I'm trying to, my next door neighbor's yard goes to my backyard and they're doing some kind of construction or something. Anyway, I could hear pound to pound. So I'm going to talk about that, understanding how to align to the energy. That's what a lot of metaphysics, occultism is, really understanding energetic patterns. So let's get to callers, 347-539-5122. And then I'm going to, thank you, Jay, about the sound. Let's get to first caller. Again, if you did have a question or comment, please press 1 on your keypad to get on air. Hi, you're on air. Hi.
Hello, Emma. How are you?
Emma, hi. Great. Good to hear
I'm doing all right. It's been really rough. I'm just wondering energetically. I don't know what's going on. I fell and I hurt my ankle. This was like 3 weeks ago. It's not bad. I mean, it's a fracture, but I don't need surgery. And it's like every time I try to move forward, I feel like literally I'm tripping and like doing something. So I'm just wondering, do you feel something getting better by the next couple of months or even this month, you know?
Let's see. I do, but now, it's interesting. You said every time you kind of go forward, you're tripping. One of the things I'm seeing with so many people right now, not a lot, I gotta just, I don't know how to, let me back up. When you start shifting and really letting the higher self lead, it's going to all make sense. But a lot of what's happening right now is we're trying to push or manage things, or we have a certain vision, and a lot of it is really on an ego level, even if it's a higher ego level, even if it's an ego level that, this is really something great to do or positive. There really is this natural, internal software, inner software of us that is changing, that's also affecting the outer software, how we do things.
Yes.
Now, part of that is the body. So there is, and of course, that Uranus and Taurus also has to do with not only Mother Earth, the Earth, all things of the Earth, but the body. Our body is an extension. Yes, our body is an extension of the Earth. It is the Earth. Ashes to ashes. We go back to the Earth. So this part of the awakening, soul alignment, it's all the ascension, getting out of the extremes of polarity, is greatly affecting the physical body. All things physical. Material plane.
Yes.
So there are little mishaps. There are little, I've known people that are working on even major health issues. So it can be that, and literally there can be tripping up. It's as if the higher self is intervening, or the quantum, the universe even.
That totally
like
makes sense.
Something, right? Does it make sense?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and it's also, I don't know if you're aware of this, but energetically, your left side of the body, I know energy, some of it, but the left side of the body represents disappointment in your past, and your right side, which is what I hurt my ankle, is your future. It's your moving forward side. So it makes complete sense to me.
Yes, and the right side though of our body is also the left is the male side. So that side wants to go. It wants to move forward. Yeah, because the left quadrant or left hemisphere of the brain, left quadrant is the male aspect, and the left side of the brain controls the right. It's
that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
well, I mean, do you feel like
good your huh?
I'm sorry, what were you saying? And then I'll say something. Go ahead.
Well, it's good that you're pausing and going, oh, what does this mean? You know, what's the symbolism of this? Because that's how, you know, the subconscious, the creative unconscious, that everything is symbolism. Everything is archetypal energy. Everything is I mean, we experience and express through, I mean, like an icon, an avatar. Yes. We are these symbolisms, whether you even look at it psychologically, mythologically, astrologically, mathematically. So it's good that you're pausing and saying, what's the message here?
Yeah.
Because so you're getting the message now. And listen, I went through this a few years ago. I kind of tend to go through things a little sooner so I could, I guess, talk about it. My assistant, because I was complaining at the time, and she's like, well, Michele, can you talk about this if you don't go through it yourself?
That's so true.
Right?
It's so true.
Yeah, and I can tell you, once I started going with it, I mean, even my psychic ability, channeling, remote, everything just heightened. We talked about, I was hearing ohms, I was hearing celestial sounds. I was literally starting to find money on the street, and I don't mean a dime or a nickel. I'm talking $50, $60, $65, $40, $20, you know, all these things. People were giving me things just that I would meet, nice jewelry, just interesting things. So it really is this kind of, and it is it's a space of trust, because on some level it feels like we're not really doing anything or making something happen or directing our life. One of the things my guide told me was like, well, you know, your higher self never sleeps.
Yeah.
And we don't either. And so we are getting things done by even putting things in motion, and the intention, following it through with an action step or not, you know, that alignment is happening, whether the little us is perceiving it's making it. So I feel with you, one of the things that can help is just more unstructured activity, which is accessing more the right side of the brain. So, you know, and it's interesting, in there you're going to then align your individual flow more to the universal flow or cosmic flow, what's actually happening, and then your solutions can come from there, or insights or chance meetings. They'll come more from that synchronistic space. You know, it's just weird that the ego, we haven't been trained to do this. This is like, all this kind of way of living has a negative connotation in our world. You know, it's very Taoist in a way. It's very. I have the book Ching, and we actually had the author on years ago. Pull her. I'm putting a list together. Carol K. Anthony. Okay. Yeah. But that greatly helps me, because what I found, now I know I mean, I've been studying it, I don't know, for 20 some odd years, but now I know the hexagrams and what they mean, and I can just, sometimes I'll even just pause and I'll ask the questioner, what's right action? You know, what do I need to do? What's tripping up here? What's going on? And sometimes I'll get a flash, and then of course that's the hexagram that I end up choosing, you know, or as soon as I open the book and choose it, I go, oh, I get it. Yep.
And I listen to a lot of motivational speakers and just reels online, the social media, and one of them was very fascinating. Very quickly, he goes, always think of every moment as a time to reset. And that really stuck with me. I'm like, all right, okay, reset. That's my mantra for the next.
And I talked about this. Well, I don't think I talked about it here, but I definitely know I talked about it in my monthly Patreon group. And I think in some of the Pick a Card, I touched on it. Just what you're talking about is what people need to be doing right now. This is reset, redo, recalibrate, reallocate. This is the time to pause and go and feel, where is the energy leading me? Oh, I did do about momentum. I think I did do a post on my Instagram about this. These little things I'm posting, guys, I know they're cute and fun, but they're algorithms. They're distilled, dialed down stuff, right, that's easy to do. And I gave an example in one of my workshops that I noticed one area of something, a project, well, it's not a project, it's a company that I've been working with. And I just felt less energy there, less pulled, and they've been changing some stuff, but I'm still doing work through them as a consultant. Of course, as soon as I let go, then you know, some people requested my services, and I thought, but that's fine. And I'm giving this example because it means I don't have to do anything, but I am feeling, in other words, I don't need to put anything more there. Whatever ends up happening
that's exactly it. You know,
does
it's
that make
like
sense?
The universe is basically saying, listen to me, just pause. And literally, I can't do any. It's just, my ego, I'm going to just say that. I'm a little sad because it's August. I'm in Connecticut. And this is the last month of summer pretty much. And I can't do anything. So that's the only thing. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just want to be by water. One last month I have, and I can't really go because I have to take care of this. So it's a little bit, you know, I'm a little bittersweet.
Yeah. So I would be with that, support yourself in that, those feelings and perception, and then ask yourself, what can I do or what I meant to do? Believe me, when I had this situation a few years ago, it was very similar. There was things that I just couldn't do logistically. Yes. You know, there were certain things I couldn't do. I was also, I had a lot of plans, and I was taking care of Yoshi, ran the clock, sometimes only sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night for weeks at a time. So logistically, I wanted to get going on YouTube. I wanted to do this. I wanted to travel. I wanted to, and there was like, no. My car even had an issue. So when that happens, that's a message. And then really it's your higher self saying, we don't want you messing this up. We don't want you intervening. And it's about going deeper within. Yes. Deeper within, deeper within. Yes, because you're preparing, like you said, resetting. You're resetting so that there's a better foundation for a bigger game that you're going to be
literally playing. Because the foundation is your feet.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Just wrapping it up, do you feel like September, October is going to be better for me? Because I think this is another couple weeks.
You know what? I'm going to be really honest. This is why I'm offering so many things. I'm going to be doing more on YouTube. This is free to people. I keep my Patreon really low. I do Instagram. Okay. Here's just what I'll say to you and everyone. It depends what you do now. See, the thing is, the energy doesn't just shift magically. It's by what we do, like listening to those messages, those signs, and seeing. Yes. If other people, myself, if you get with the program, which is really your inner program, things do improve or get better, and on the outside it maybe looks like luck or something shifted. It's really important to work with the energy, whether you're looking at the transit energetically or astrologically or numerically. Working with the energy pattern of what is always brings what's life enhancing, always brings the benefit. Yeah. You know, so for you in 2 to 3 to 5 minutes, I don't know what it is, but I do know that you're getting some message there about not tripping yourself up. And this is what I'm seeing with a lot of people. It's I wanted to do this vision, instead of going within and going, what is the deeper call for me? What does my soul want to do? Where does it want to be? And sometimes, unfortunately, it's very different, right? It's very different than the ego part of us.
Well, one thing is for sure, I mean, even though I'm in the middle of this, I definitely feel, and today and yesterday was, actually since the new moon, which was last Thursday, things have shifted in the sense of like, I feel release. I feel at ease. I feel more at peace, where I was like the first 2 weeks of this is agitated and just very fiery type of energy. It was just irritation, agitation. Yeah.
Always when we change, there's always resistance. And in fact, sometimes the more resistance you get, in fact, I talked about this on one of my courses, counter intention. The more that means you're shifting. It's like weightlifting. You go to the gym. What makes the muscle is the resistance of the weight. The weight's heavy, and you're pushing it up. So when you get resistance, there is a shift. We're always shifting. It just depends, is that shift in alignment to either the greater good or to moving what we perceive as moving forward?
Yes.
We could be shifting downward or upward. Yes. But resistance, when I see resistance in myself or my clients, I go, oh, whoo, this is good. And they're like, oh, I hate that. What are you talking about? I'm like, because that means something is happening. It's starting to bite. The process, whether it's a therapeutic process or a universal process, an inner process, higher self process, it's now starting to bite. And the thing that's kind of counter common sense is we need to go with that.
Yep, exactly.
Right?
Embrace it and flow with what is.
And embrace the resistance and go, woo, you don't really like this. Okay, wow, you hate this. Like the guy, and girls do too, women, in the gym. They're like grunting. They got to get that weight up, and it's like they don't put it down, but they forget it. They have that weight, and they're grunting to push through the resistance. In the tarot, it's the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands and 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands to some degree, but 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands, those Wands, especially the 5 and the 9, that strength to push. All right, Alma, thanks for the question and the insights for us that you shared too. That's going to help so many people because so many people are at this place. I'm just sitting. I know it looks like probably to some of my clients and people I work with, oh, this is so easy for Michele. No, I already went through this, and I had I call it my kvetching moment. I had and then I realized, Michele, you're not going to be able to do it. You have to just fully go into this, because it's your higher self, your soul. I just have to go into this. There's no making it happen or doing it a different way. I just have to lean into that. And it's just
really, it's kind of like, to wrap it, it's really just being benched. I talk about this when I'm writing my books and stuff. It's like you're the warrior. You know when to fight, in air quotes, and you know when to be benched. And that doesn't mean it's down in the dumps. It's more like time to renew, reset, hydrate, all that stuff. Take care of yourself, nurturing. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be different things for different people. That's the whole thing. It's signaling something.
Yeah.
But tripping up, it's signaling not that way for many people. The block, but the thing is the deeper part of us is the block saying, no, don't go that way. Yeah. Okay, I'm like, keep us posted how things go.
I will. Thank you so much. Take good care.
Okay. You too. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Bye. Oh, my God, such a good question and insight. Thanks, Alma, for calling in, because I'm telling you, I'm seeing it in quite a few people, and especially if you're a really good manifester, it's like if you're used to making things happen or controlling things, it's like, yikes, it's that deeper part. Okay, let's see. Let's get to callers. Hello. You're on Awakenings. Hi. Who's hello? Hi. Is this Colette? Yeah, you're on air. Hi. What's your first name?
Can you hear me?
I can. What's your first
name? Colette.
Hey, Colette. Hi.
Hi. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We have a weird delay here on Blog Talk Radio. Sometimes people have left reviews. Michele always talks over the guests, and it's like, not really. there's a weird delay here, so everybody knows. Anyway, Colette, what's your question, or what you want to share?
Well, my question is, I recently met a wonderful man who I know is a quality person, but he's told me that he's got a lot going on, so it seems that he's unavailable. And he told me he's healing from being separated from his daughter due to a divorce a couple years ago. So he's moving 8 hours away to live near her, yet we have a beautiful connection when we're together. So my question is this the man for me? Is he worth waiting for?
Unavailable. When you first started telling me, and then he told you, boy, oh boy.
He just said he's really not boyfriend material right now because he's healing because of his daughter. But the hope is
with
that
all due respect, I feel that's an excuse. I feel like he wasn't very present he's short-term present. I even feel in his marriage. He's trying to make up for lost time is what I'm hearing. So I don't know if he was separated from his daughter for quite a while or what was going on there.
A year and a half.
Okay. Colette, I don't think so. I mean, you guys might try to keep in contact or keep in contact a bit. I just feel he's kind of self-punishing. I don't know if you saw that part of him.
I have, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I feel like he's in this. He has that side anyway, but I feel like it came out a lot, recently, and perhaps with the separation. I just feel he's not available. Part of it is I feel he doesn't want to go through what he went through. He knows what commitment is and what it takes. I'm not going to say he'll never have commitment again, but I think it's going to be a really long time. And even if he tries to, see, there's also this little self-fulfilling prophecy. I feel whether he gets with you or someone else, he's not going to be totally there or available because he's healing, he's this, he's that, at work, this, that, whatever. And then it's going to be like, see, the relation, I can't give you what you want. So there's something in him about going into this deeper level of intimacy that he hasn't really done with himself, so he can't do with another, even his former, his ex. But it's easier for him to do that on a surface level with a child, with his child. So that's the closest. See, that's a safe intimacy. And so it's seeming like, I'm healing, I'm building this relationship back, I'm getting ahead. But he's really not. But that's where he's at right now. And I feel as far as I'm looking in the foreseeable future, he seems to be in that place because he's going to get enough satisfaction, enough intimate. There's going to be enough reason. He is lovely, but there's a lot of wounding there that hasn't been addressed, and I think you're seeing the potential.
Yeah,
I think you're seeing the potential, and that potential is real because it is always real. It's spirit, but does it get actualized in human form, in the earth experience? And that takes emotional healing, mental, emotional, psychological healing. So
it's hard for me because I haven't time, so I've put him kind of on a pedestal, and I fall really hard for people, so it's very difficult right now. Yeah,
I understand. Yeah, and you are holding on to, however small, the truth of the connection, the potential, but people don't always actualize the potential. So that's something I would say to you, the dream may not be with him, but don't let go of the dream, what you want. And I do feel he was saying he wasn't available all along. So your thing may be to really listen, but also observe, and perhaps not over connect. Not have a bit of a space or boundary to see what unfolds. Right.
Right.
That might be helpful. Yeah, but I get it. I mean, it's. Mm-hmm.
Do you see that there might be other women involved, or I just kind of wonder about that too?
There can. Let's see. Let me ask, because I get there can be. That's why I said even if it doesn't matter if it's you or someone else he commits to, which he may to somebody in the area, something that's a bit easier. He's still going to have the same, well, this is all I can give you, I'm healing, or I'm trying to build my relationship back with my daughter, or, I'm working on this, or I don't have enough time, he's not, I don't care who it is, whatever the fantasy chick or girl is in the pop culture, he's not going to be able to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot with his self-worth, self-esteem, finance. Even financially, there's some issues there. So will he date? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the thing is, he can only go so far.
Okay. That is probably going to take a long time.
I feel, honestly, with this person, the energy that I'm seeing as I'm getting in his energetic field, I feel like he's gone to his level. I feel even if he marries, it's going to be the same. He's like dejected. You know what I mean? I don't see him springing back. But because I also feel this was part of what was going on in his marriage. So this is not something new, right? This unavailability or this emotional distance or walled off.
Right.
I think it worked for you guys because it went so far, but as it was going further, then he had this reason with his daughter, to pull back.
Right.
Instead of how can we do this? Or I really want you to meet her, and heal. I'm working on this. Because the fact of the matter is, a relationship is not going to be totally fulfilling. People need something for themselves, hobbies, meaningful work, and meaningful relationships, whether significant other, one-on-one, and friends. So to collapse all that, that's why I'm saying that's really not healthy. To put all that into I'm healing and going to be with my daughter to heal.
Mm-hmm.
That's really not what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole different thing if someone says, look, I'm now allowed to see my daughter. I need to be closer to her to build back this relationship. How can we do this? Or maybe we see long distance, what works out. There's a recognition of what one is getting on an adult level, adult to adult, that type of relationship. And is seeing that as something that is beneficial, is helpful, is supportive. They would want that support. So, again, I just think it's a good I just think it's an excuse. But that's where he's at. And then there's the punishment, the self-punishment is what I'm hearing with him as well.
Yeah, I get that too. I feel that from him too. Yeah. Because he's always apologizing, like, sorry I acted this way, or the.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That would not stop in the marriage. Oh, I can't do that. I'm sorry I can't be there for you. I'm just sorry I can't do that. I'm just sorry, So I think, again, the potential is there, but then you've got, again, one thing that could be helpful is asking yourself in certain situations, not that you want a clone of you, but enough of a match, what would I do in this situation, or what do I want? Once you get clear on that, then you attract people that are able to be there or give to you in that way without you having to ask, or have big conversations around it.
Right.
All right,
okay.
You hang in there, Colette. Just as we do healing, I mean, the thing is the love real? Love is always real. It is. But I think you're getting clearer about what you really need and want, and maybe what signs to look for to tell you, is that a possibility,
For the future. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Colette, you take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle. It's Cynthia. I called in last week, actually.
Okay. Hey, Cynthia. Hi.
Hi. So I wanted to see if you saw anything as far as now I'm looking for a new apartment to live. And I was looking like in Mill Creek area and Kirkland. And I don't know what is gravitating. I have to go fast because the energy is very contentious with my old landlord.
Yeah. Okay, I can feel that. What was the one, Mill Creek, and what was the other one?
Kirkland.
Kirk? Or
Kirkland.
Okay. Let's see.
And Basel. Actually, it's Basel.
In Basel. Okay.
Yeah.
In Basel. Okay, the Mill Creek looks good. There seems to be something a little bit off with Kirkland. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the first one and the third one read very strongly. And also what's coming up around is also like signing documents. So that would tell me that you are, definitely there could be a lease being signed. I almost am getting like a temporary energy from you, though. Like it may not be the end-all, be-all place. It definitely does show a move. Are you wanting to move out of the area at some point? Or is this the move out of the area?
My job, I need to be at the office now, and the office is about an hour away from where I live now.
Oh, are you moving closer?
Closer to the office, not. I'm moving.
That's what
Yeah.
Okay, because it seems like you're moving out of the area from where you're at now. I feel like a bigger move. Here's the thing, Cynthia, I would say, yes, you're going to definitely find a place to move. I would definitely, do your move. Do see kind of a reassessing. It could be into anywhere from, it's winter months, so it could be the close of this year into February, March of next year.
Okay.
Where you're sitting down. I see you writing things out. Now, this could be, it's a combination, expenses, bills, what you want to do, what you want to make. You are going to be, I feel, making some bigger decisions around work or where you work or how you work. Now, I don't know if I'm seeing a vacation or the next place you have has a pool. I feel like there's a pool. Are some of the places you're looking at, does it have like a recreation? Okay, I see a pool. Because I see you sitting by the pool, kind of it's warmer weather, and so it could be even summer months. The shift for you starts around February, March, I feel. It's a little, if you get a little taste of it end of the year, and then you kind of push it to the side, and then it kind of comes up. And but I do see you by a pool, and there's an umbrella there, sometimes some kids in there, and you're kind of staring off. I don't know if you're journaling or you're like writing a, to-do list, or this is what I want, like my life to look like, a vision I'm taking. So this move, just get there, intermediary, it'll be fine. And then I feel like you've got some, like really taking the bull by the horns, taking the lead or leash of your life is coming up next year.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking of moving to Florida, so that would be a pool.
Well, that's also, but see, that's what I'm saying. There's a bigger move, and that means your job will be changing.
Yeah.
You know, the location. So ultimately, there is a bigger move. That's what I was trying to get at, moving out of it completely out of the area. And it's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great.
Really?
So whether you do it now or next year after you have a think on things, I feel it's a destiny issue.
Okay.
So there's no need to rush. Just do what for you, you know?
Okay. Yeah, because it's kind of not in the plans right now, but it's coming up in my head for a while.
That's why I'm saying, see, the thing is, I feel like once you're in this next place and you can kind of relax, because I'll be honest with you, I see some stuff not unpacked. There's some boxes, there's some stuff you're going to have in the closet or storage or something, because you're just going to have this feeling. It's like your higher self is starting to peek through. You're going to be having less, there's not going to be the contention. The place is going to be okay. It's not going to be your ideal, but you're going to be focused a lot on work and money and putting stuff aside. And then you're going to be having to think, where do I really want to live and where do I really want to be? And, you know, but I see it falling into place because either you work remotely or you get another job.
Right.
I don't know, but I see the larger move, and I see you planning it out. You're writing to, if I saved this much, I put this aside, paid this, okay, I could afford this and not have to worry. It would cost, you know, you're writing it all out. And then there's like almost like this to-do list, but then there's this visioning part of it. There's like, okay, I see myself here and living here. You may even go there and visit. I almost feel like there's friends or somebody there that can help you.
Okay.
Also, so yeah, you're definitely on the right track. Things are going to fall into place. And then you just kind of take things, like I said, and move. And I can hear you talking to a woman friend saying, I can't believe I took so long, or I should have done this sooner. That's what you're going to tell yourself.
Yeah.
But it's so you. It's like, that's so you. But yeah, that's okay. You want the I's, you know, dotted and T's crossed. That's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
You know, get those little duckies in a row, and but you are. I will be honest. You're at an intermediary place. You're at a midpoint.
Yep.
Like so many people are right now, and that's okay. That's you know, it's the process right now for so many.
Okay.
You know.
We're just in the middle part, in the cocoon. We're in the cocoon, not the butterfly yet. We're in the luminal stage.
Well, you've got the thing is your butterfly wingies are trying to come. It's just not the space for it.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah.
So sometimes we know, I can't really expand my wings as much as I want here. It's like being around people where you know some kind of social situation, just not to bring up certain things or say certain things or do certain things.
Yep.
And that's all it's about. But those wings are there. They might be clipped a little, but they're there. They're there fully.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That helps a lot. Gives me some optimism and what's going on.
Good. Now you're on track. It isn't. Yeah. No, you're on track. I mean, a lot of it's just like you're being guided. It might like look at it on the outside or to the ego portion, but you're definitely, definitely on track.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
I appreciate
Cynthia. Keep us posted. Glad to be here.
Okay.
Than last time.
Yeah, no, this was a lot better than last time when I called. The energy was nicer.
Well, you must have did some little shift. What'd you do?
Well, I confronted the person, and then they told me another crazy lie, and then I just kind of dealt with the higher spirit, and I said, okay, I don't want to take on all this negativity and this energy, so I have to shift it to bring something new, despite this betrayal of this person. So I can't wait. any
well,
longer.
I think I told you that. I think they had they didn't want the money, right? Was it they have a certain thing, a protocol or something?
Now they
fixed.
changed it. They changed it and said they're going to do this as a Title VIII housing. So they just shifted it again. That they're going to, have it for somebody.
But see, that's
everything
also
I'm
about the
do,
money.
You're going to shift
but
it.
see,
it's about the money.
Colette, that's all about the money because you get government subsidy for Title VIII.
Yep.
So, but you know what? You just said something that is so key, and I brought it up at the top of the podcast. So I want to redirect people that are listening. This is what I'm talking about: the evaluation, reevaluation, the allocating of energy. You had to decide, do I want to put my energy into this or not? Do I want to fight this? Do I want to stand up? No, I want to take my energy and apply it, over here in this direction. So I'm seeing that for a lot of people right now. And that's part of the allocation of energy. What do you really want to do? What is the right thing for this energy? Just leave something alone, just let it be, or you literally take your marbles, you take your energy, you take your crystals, pick them up, and you move them to another place. You know what I mean? So so it's really good. It's really good. And again, on a human ego level, does it make sense? Because it's like, well, that's not fair. It's a betrayal.
Right. Yeah.
But this person I'm telling you, it's all about the recouping of that money. It's about the money. For some reason, they're feeling they're not getting enough money there, or they lost money, whatever it is. So whatever they have to do, I mean, if they have to paint that place red and make it a bordello, they will. You know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah. No, they don't.
They want to put homeless in there, unhoused. It doesn't matter. Or they want to turn it into a garden party, and they're going to get paid so much money. So I think you did the right thing because you're looking at what's best for you.
Yeah,
and you don't want to live. You just said it perfectly.
Yeah, I can't live around that energy. It's
no,
their energy.
You said it
never going to shift, and that's their issue. But I can't live around that energy. I can't live in an apartment giving them my money towards that energy. There's just no way.
Yeah, and your energy, your very amazing energy. So. Well, good for you for connecting into higher spirit, connecting into your higher source, higher power, higher self, and just, getting the message. That's wonderful. Thank you a lot for sharing that. I really appreciate it. It's
thank you, Michelle.
Really good example of shifting. Yeah. All right, Cynthia, talk to you again.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, I love hearing that. Oh, my God. Okay, we do have a lot of callers in the queue, but are you just listening, or did you want to get on air? Did you have a question or a comment or wanted to share something? So press 1 on your keypad if you want to get on air. Those of you that are wanting to listen by phone, that number is 347-539-5122, and you press 1 on the keypad to get on air. Your question, your comment, or to get a reading. Okay, so I never know. Do I pick up? Then I get the emails. I was waiting for you. You kept talking. Well, I'll keep talking. That's what I do. That's what I got to do. Let's see. How was it in the chat? Most people listen. It's very interesting. I'm noticing a shift. A lot of people listening. Well, obviously, most people listen to the archives later, the replays, but a lot of people listening by phone these days. So are you on the go and not wanting to? It's a good time to be on the go. Okay, so while we see what's unfolding, any questions in the chat, any questions on the phone lines? Waiting for our guestie to come on the air also. Okay, Lynn's in the chat. Okay, somebody got in. Okay, and Jackie's in. Okay. So one of the things, it kind of dovetails into what has been going on for people, this really looking at yourself as an energetic being and reallocating, reprioritizing. And I'm saying because you need to prioritize. Probably many of you have prioritized, or you've put energy aside or a focus aside time, money, and now you're reprioritizing, you're reallocating. Try to see where you feel the energy leading you. And one thing I like to do is, you can do it sitting or standing. I've taught this in a lot of my courses. And think about something that you have to do. Now, mind you guys, okay, if it's dishes and tax, things like that, budget, okay, there are things that maybe sometimes your heart will open wide for it too, but sometimes it doesn't. So that's not what I'm talking about. But even what you need to do during the day or evening, what's your schedule, your routine, see if there is a slight leaning. Some of you will get a psychic flash, like an opening, like go in that direction. You'll feel more energy there, right? Some of you will feel less energy, or you might even get a flash like a aperture kind of closing, or you might perceive the situation, the circumstance, the job or the person at more of a distance, which means they're just off doing something, doing their own thing. There's some kind of shift. And here's the thing, you don't have to necessarily know cognitively, the lower mind, the beta consciousness. You don't have to necessarily know why. It's just to follow the energy, to be more present to the energetics of the situation and your life, the message that you're getting. You'll understand why later. I mean, this is, whether you want to call it through the subconscious or unconscious or creative unconscious, this is that higher principle of you, that quantum aspect of you speaking. It speaks through archetypal imagery, messages, symbols. And so it's about intuiting that and making a note. So why we don't push. That's where the reallocation of energy is. So we don't push in a direction that's actually the energy is waning. And those of you that are astrologers or follow the moon, you know that. This is the life cycle. In other words, when the moon is waxing, that means it's gaining momentum. The full moon is a culmination. A lot of people think it's an ending, but the ending actually happens after, like 2 to 3 days, 4 days after the full moon. That's the letting go, the balsamic. Or disseminating, releasing something, sharing, talking, and then the energy wanes. So perhaps ask yourself what's waxing and waning in your life. And without freaking out, get support, journal, whether you work with a therapist or soul coach or whatever, spiritual coach or friend or mentor, teacher, or in a workshop. Speak it. It feels like this is waning, because I will tell you, if something is waning, something is waxing. You may not be able to see it with your physical eyes. You may not cognitively understand what's going on the conscious level, the beta level. But on your intuitive level, on the inner level, you will see, and we all see this, right, in retrospect. Oh, my God, now I look back. Yes, that was ending, and this new thing was coming in, So this is about connecting to the energetics before the concrete or tangible situation is there, the reality. So I hope that helps. So many great questions you guys had today, and comments and insights, great wisdom and suggestions from all of you. And I'm going to go back to Cynthia when she said, I don't want to put my energy into that. You're allowed to say that in your life. All right, so I think we have our guestie here for the second half of the program, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Catherine Shainberg is going to be joining us for an awakening conversation. Fellow transpersonal psychologist, I look forward to chatting with her. She's also a teacher, author, creator of School of Images, author of Kabbalah and the Power of Dreaming, Awakening the Visionary Life, Dream Birth, Transforming the Journey of Childbirth, and an upcoming book, The Kabbalah of Light. Woo! All up our alley, folks. Let's see. Catherine, hello.
Hello. Thank you.
Hello.
Glad
oh,
to
my
be
gosh.
on your show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're a little low. If you can turn up the volume a bit. Let's see. Oh, I just turned up mine.
Yeah,
Catherine?
I turned up mine right to the top.
Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so just we're going to have an interesting little delay. I've got a little delay. Let's see. If it gets too bad, I'll have you call back in.
Okay.
So let's just get a little bit of your background on what brought you to what you're doing. And I love you, the Kabbalah, the power of dreaming, awakening the visionary life. I mean, wow, powerful.
That's the first book. The second book is already out, by the way, The Kabbalah of Light.
Oh, The Kabbalah of Light? Okay, yes. Okay, I'm going to have you call back in, and I'll pick up right away. We have a delay, and I'm hearing myself way too much. Thank you. I was just looking in the chat and writing in the chat, and I forgot. Oh, Michelle, you're on air. There's dead air. Okay, here we go. Let's see, Catherine, if we got her back. Catherine?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, great. It's a little better. Then we'll have to deal with it. Yeah, it's kind of going in and out. Let's see. How about now, Catherine?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's kind of want to know. I always ask people their first awakening to the path of introspection, more consciousness, and then how did you start doing what you're doing now? So I also want to know about the School of Images too. You got a lot of goodies here. A lot of goodies that you're doing.
Yes. Well, I've always done this. So practice was my natural way of being, was to look inside. So I can't tell you when it started, because my first memories are of doing that and of dreaming. In fact, my mother was very upset with me and always said, "You're dreaming your life away," which I continue to do very happily.
So you didn't get dissuaded by that?
No. I mean, she did try very hard to dissuade me, but nothing else really took my attention. This did. And I went on doing that all my childhood. And I had all sorts of methodologies to be able to live in the outer world, because I was mainly living in the inner world.
Yeah.
So at school, this was complicated, and I had a pouch in which the voice of the teacher would go, and I could actually play it back, so I would know what the question was.
I so know that about living
life.
Yeah. No, I did the same. I was very much in the inner life, inner world, and so it's nice to meet another person that was like that and grew up like this. What helped you in navigating this? Because we may have people listening that either they're going through this, or lately I think children. What helps navigate this, and what helps navigate this and understand this?
Well, I'm not sure I understood it mentally for a long, long time, but I was always following the inner voice, and I checked on it again and again. If the inner voice said, "If you take your ball out into the garden, you're going to lose it," I would take the ball out into the garden to check. I was constantly checking the inner voice in many different ways, even in drastic ways. Like, if you take your bicycle, you're going to fall. Well, I found that interesting enough that I would take the bicycle, I would fall, and I would check, okay, I verified the inner voice is telling me the truth.
Yeah. So this way you could really listen, right? You could learn. See, I do the same. I always check. I get confirmations. This is powerful information that you're giving, because then I would imagine that by you doing this, you began to trust that part more and more.
Totally. And I really recommend that method, because it's the only way for somebody to begin to trust the inside. Now, looking in is a practice. Now, I did that naturally in my childhood, but later when I met my teacher, I was formally trained in looking in. And the more you look in, the more you practice this, the more clear the inner voice gets.
Yes. It does take practice, just like anything else, right?
Right. And it takes verification.
Yes, yes. I love that you're saying this. Okay, people in the chat are saying still low. You turned the mic all the way up? It almost sounds like you're calling from overseas, Catherine.
I am in the perfect place. We have perfect internet.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, I can hear you fine, people in the chat, so it's probably going to be okay. It's a little staticky, but probably, who knows? There could be some connection through the computer.
You want me to
take
I can hear the earphones off? Would you like me to take the earphones off?
Let's try that. Let's see what happens with that.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
How about this? Is this better?
Much better. Woo, yes. Catherine, yes.
Okay.
Oh, much better. Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
It's so good I can turn down my volume. Something with yeah. Oh, they said perfect in the chat. Perfect. Okay, great. Because I don't want to miss what you have to say. I love what you're. Well, let's do, because I'm so curious. I mean, gosh, there's so much to share here with you. I do want to get to your book that's out already, the Kabbalah of Light, another interest of mine. I studied not quite as many.
Come out. Yeah, it came out about 2 weeks ago at Inner Traditions. And so
can people get it on Amazon?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's, Catherine, you're like the dessert or hors d'oeuvre tray. Which one do I start with? There's so much here.
Well, let's talk about Kabbalah maybe, because many people don't know what Kabbalah is. Yeah. And Kabbalah, what I'm talking about is the most ancient Kabbalah, the one that really began everything in terms of, let's say, biblical texts, because it was a shamanic way. And people walked the desert, and because there was nothing to hold their attention, they would start looking inward. Or the mystery of the vastness of the desert would take them, and they would start to commune with the mystery or with God. So Kabbalah really means surrendering to an inner vision, inner gazing. We surrender to the revelation that comes to us when we ask the question. I'm walking in the desert and I'm wondering, where are you, God? Right? And then suddenly I have a revelation. And maybe it's an incredible fountain that rises up in front of me, and I'm filled with freshness and delight. And I know that this mystery comes from inside of me and rises up and is creative and powerful and changes my whole being. Even my physical body feels more refreshed. So that's how it started. And if we look
now, Catherine, this conversation, what you're saying is so not only pivotal. I've got goosebumps all over, but so synchronistic to our earlier talk and call. So I hope everybody, people re-listen in the archive. The surrender. Can you talk a bit about that? Because I feel we're at this place right now in the collective where this is precisely what we're being all asked to do at varying levels. Some people are better at it than others. Some people it's like, I don't know how to do it at all. This surrendering to this inner, what you're talking about.
Everybody knows how to do it.
A bit.
Yeah, I think everybody knows how to do it, because I think that everybody can say, I heard a little voice. The biblical text calls it a still small voice, a little voice that says, turn right, don't take your bicycle, or if you take the ball, you're going to lose it. It talks to us, right?
Right.
And we all have that. It's a very mysterious little thing, this tiny little voice. And in some occasions, of course, it's a thundering voice. Like, on Mount Sinai, where God spoke to Moses. It's a thundering voice. Small voice we all have. And we hear it. It'll say, you're going to have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. And people remember that because it has a particular sound to it. It's very simple. It's very intimate. It's you don't doubt it. It's your inner voice.
Yeah.
And why it's that way is a great mystery. It's as if we are suddenly aligned to the universe and to our particular mission in life, and it's telling us what we're going to do.
So how did
I
guess you said it's a discipline. Yeah.
It is a discipline, but what I wanted to say before we go there is that Kabbalah seems to be a Jewish mystical path, but the Kabbalah I'm talking about, anybody can do it. Anybody can turn in and look in and have visions and has dreams. Anybody has dreams. So this methodology is for everybody. And our work is to bring our conscious mind to look in and surrender to what the subconscious wants to show us.
Yeah. So really what you're talking, whether it's Jewish mysticism, Christian mysticism, it's the mystic. It's the mystical or the mysticism.
Well, Christian mystics did exactly that, right? They would contemplate Jesus Christ and have visions.
Yeah. They had visions or even before. Yeah. So what could be helped? So it really, I'm hearing from you, it's just this practice of saying, and maybe a commitment and practice, which is discipleship, to listen to that part and have those confirmations. Maybe that's part of the practice for people right now, is how to, maybe make an inner commitment. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to listen,
because today we have so much outside information, and it's very confusing. Nobody really knows what they should do. Now, the inside knows what you should do. And so it's a very immediate importance and value for us to return to learning how to do this. Because I may be walking down this path and there are 5 or 6 different opportunities for me. I don't know which one to take. But if I stop and I turn in, and I can ask my dreams at night, or I can ask in the daytime, inner gazing, I'm going to get an answer. Yeah. And that's so powerful, because that answer, when we really hear it, it's absolute. We don't question it. So that's the training, is to learn to do this, right? I could do my, due diligence, and then I have to sit down and look in. Yesterday I was talking to an old student of mine who's been doing the work for a long time. He was a big CEO of an international company, and he did all the work, but he did it for his business. And he would ask the question, should I hire this person? Should I sell this part of the company? Should I do this? Should I do that? And he signed his last contract 2 days ago. He obtained everything he had set out to do. Using, I think the thing that I'm really hearing, the thing that I'm hearing is to use it, but it needs to be a part. You have to make the commitment, that discipline to use it. Let me ask you, the book you have. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah, without commitment, it's not going to work. It really is a practice of committing to listening, to turning our eyes inward, whether we do it at night in our dreams and we write our dreams in the morning. That's a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear what the dream has to tell us. And the dream may actually say to us, I have a problem here and I'd like you to deal with it. So the dream may show me that there's a problem, like, let's say, a bathtub is blocked up. And so the dream is asking me to repair that situation. And in the process, I'm dialoguing with my inside. I'm developing that practice.
Yeah, it goes back to the follow through, the commitment, the discipline to just make it part of your life.
Well, I always tell my students, you've got a very important question. Are you ready to hear the answer? If you're ready, we'll do the exercise. Are you ready? Sometimes they tell me I'm not ready. So I say, well, we'll wait until you're ready.
Yeah, you wait till you're ready. Do you find sometimes we don't, even if we don't ask that question, we don't get the guidance or the message because we're not ready?
It has to be a burning question. No, it has to be a burning question. And it has to have been so burning, so powerful that it becomes simple. Right?
Yeah.
If it's not a burning question, the inside won't answer. It's going to answer whatever other burning question you have, but not that one.
Yeah, it's like you can't fool the universe. You can't fool God. You can't fool spirit, however you want to put it. What really is on your mind and burning that's right. That's the one that's going to come through. That's the one that's going to be, the real.
So it's really a practice in focusing, learning how to focus.
And you mean on the question, or what, or getting that clear, or what's
getting clearer and clearer as to what I'm really asking for.
Yeah, language is so important, right? Getting clear on what is it? What is the right question? If you could talk a little bit about that, because if you don't have the right question or what really reflects what we really want to know or need to know, what's important to us, that's
I have a few exercises in the book about the question, but but really, it takes a little while. Let's say I'm wondering if I should stay in this relationship. So I may need to gather different parts of this relationship as images, right? Let's say flowers. Okay, this part of the relationship is daisy, and that part is rose, and that part is thistle. And take a look and pull it all together into a bouquet. And maybe that bouquet, when I look at it in a mirror, is not quite what I want. So I start pruning. And maybe when I finish pruning, I have the exact bouquet I want. And what is astonishing about that is if we do it that way, our relationship changes. Because the images are the key. The images are the key to our inside, right? They're the language of our body, right?
Yes. Which brings us a bit to your school of images. If you could touch on that a bit, because I agree, imagery is so important. The images we receive and or put out, what we notice, these are all messages. What is the School of Images? And talk a little bit, to the creator of the School of Images. What's the premise of it? What do you teach? And then
the premise is it's really to remember our original language, and our original language is a body language. It's in sensations and colors and sense and touch, right? And it coheses as images. So if I think, let's say, of somebody I love, I may suddenly see a burning fire, and the image is really describing in sensational terms my feeling for this person. So it's our original language. It's what we had before the Tower of Babel. Right. Before we started having many different conscious languages, we had the language of the body. Yeah. And so when we talk Kabbalah, we're receiving it in the language of the body, which is images, and also very simple language. But mainly images. So the School of Images is about teaching people how to turn their conscious mind back to look into the subconscious mind. It's like God hovering over the abyss, the waters, and then suddenly light appears, and then suddenly order appears. And we do that whenever we dream at night. This is the very beginning of the creation. God hovers over the waters, and light appears, and then order appears. And so we do that when we dream. We're letting our conscious mind turn into the subconscious, and light appears, and suddenly a scenario appears that is talking to us in the language of the body. And the body is always telling us the truth. Oh boy, so these images are always telling us the truth. So one thing I find so profound one thing that you're saying too, so because we are creating this order, right? Energetically to our dreams, and even waking, we're putting the order of what we want to experience and or manifest. The impressions we receive, we put out there by what we do during our day. That's create. I love how you're saying that. That's creating that the order of our existence. We're co-creators. I believe we create our life. We can't be neutral about this. We have to take charge, and we have to do this maneuver of looking inwards so that our subconscious tells us where to go. Yeah. And it's that commitment to that maneuver that is really going to help us to have a more conscious, a more expanded life. And I absolutely think and feel it's crucial in this next paradigm. Some people say new earth, whatever this new, will everyone do it? Maybe not. But I do feel that there is a large group or part of the collective that is very much going to be living exactly by what you are sharing and defining. I totally believe that. I believe that it's now. I think that, during the 17th century with the scientific enlightenment, people moved away from superstition because imagery and the real work of image and dream had become superstitious. Yeah. And so the scientific enlightenment was, we are looking at the outside, the facts. Right. And now we've come full circle, and the scientific establishment is coming back to the truths of the mystic. And we're there now. Yeah. And so I believe the scientists and the mystics are finally meeting back where they're supposed to be, where the conscious mind looks into the subconscious and asks a question. Yeah, I think it's going to come back together where there was that split, like you're speaking of, that these disciplines will come back together and even overlap
so really what you're saying, I just feel if people start, just even the bits that you've shared today are so helpful in people getting in sync with, not only in sync with this through the collective or the group consciousness, but their individual, most importantly. Catherine, let's talk a bit about the Kabbalah of Light. You said just came out a couple of weeks ago through Inner Traditions Publishing. It's also available, those of you that are listening, on Amazon. But Kabbalah of Light, let's talk a little bit about, you touched on Kabbalah, but why Kabbalah of Light?
Well, every time that you have a dream, you're looking into the darkness. Your eyes are closed. You're looking into the darkness. Where does this light come from? It's something incredibly powerful. It's what the Kabbalists call the light of creation. I'm looking in. There's no sun or moon or stars or anything. I'm looking into the darkness and light appears. So basically the Kabbalah of Light, as I describe it, is a way to enlighten us. The more we do it, the more we practice it, the more we have light in our bodies. And we do what, Einstein said, we're not matter, we're really energy, we're really light. So the more we look in, the more we become filled with light. And so the practice is twofold. It's the night dream, but it's also the daytime waking dream. And it's a whole practice with very short, I call them sapphire imagery exercises. They're very short exercises that give a little jolt and move the mental ideas away so that we can truly see the subconscious. And we practice many different, let's say, questions so that the subconscious becomes very active and starts to play with us and give us ideas about different things we're asking about. Right? Yes. I call it
I love that.
Of the soul. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because then everything becomes, it is anyway, alive, but now we're in this panoply where it's almost surreal. Everything is speaking to us. Everything is interacting, with us. There's this interaction, the interconnectedness.
It's a great big organism, and we're a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we should be playing a role in it because it asks us to, and if we don't, then it's not very nice to us, right? We get stagnant.
Very true. Yeah. Something that you're saying, I think, is so kind of enlightening as being these co-creators, and we're meant to live this way. This is where the true fulfillment comes in. But as you said earlier, it starts by looking within. It's that practice, that discipline. That seems to be the portal or the gateway to it all, right? It's not external.
I believe that it is the gateway. Now, there are different traditions. Zen Buddhism does it by eliminating every thought, every image. But the mysticism, the Western mysticism, and also Tibetan mysticism has gone through the forest of images. So we go through them more and more and more and more, exploring the subconscious. The more the subconscious becomes illuminated, and it becomes light. So I actually show that as a ladder of dreams. From the nightmare, which is very dark and heavy colors like heavy red and dark, and then we go up the ladder. And the colors get clearer and clearer. The clear dream, the dream that is trying to show us the way, becomes natural colors. The great dream is colors of gem-like beauty, and then finally we have dreams of light and union that are pure light. So we learn the more we're clearing up and activating the subconscious So every stagnant trauma dissolves, and then the subconscious becomes more and more active and brilliant.
Mm-hmm. And then do you find that there's then this just seamless connection with the subconscious the more that you connect into it?
Say that again. Forgive me, I didn't quite hear.
Would you find then that there's more and more a seamless connection to the subconscious? Let's say, yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah. So it's much more accessible, right?
You're dreaming all the time. We're dreaming day and night. We just don't know it, but we're dreaming all the time because it's your body language. So as I'm sitting here, my body is dreaming. I'm sitting in a comfortable position or not in a comfortable position. I may have some yellow somewhere and some red somewhere else. I'm dreaming it as we go along. So we're dreaming all the time. And we need to make that connection. You know, in the ancient tarot decks, you have the Empress and the Emperor. And contrary to the modern decks, the Emperor and the Empress look at each other with loving eyes.
Yes.
And the Empress is the subconscious. The Emperor is the conscious mind. And that's at the beginning of the decks where they're telling you this is what you need to do.
Yeah. It's like conjunctio, right? It's the divine marriage, the conjunctio, the divine masculine, feminine coming together. I love tarot symbolism. Yeah, if you get they're meant to work synergistically.
They are
together, and you're saying subconscious and conscious mind working together.
That's why I believe that we're entering an age where men and women are going to be equal in a deep, mystical way, in a deep marriage, right? And I believe we're coming to an age where there's going to be equality of this sort, where the subconscious mind and the conscious mind will be both respected and held together, working together. It's not going to be we're going only towards science or we're going only towards mysticism.
Right.
We're one organism.
Right. Yes, it is one organism. And it's interesting you say this because that split has split the culture or cultures. It's bringing that, like you said, with the Emperor and Empress, the within the tarot, within ourselves, it's bringing that was split. It's bringing that together within ourselves.
When you think of the incredible duality that is happening in our lives today, right? Black and white, and Democrat and Republican, and we're all split into very dual positions and hard positions. And life is not about that. It's about the beauty of planting a garden together. Yeah. Many layers, many different flowers, many different plants. That's civilization.
Bringing those layers together. Well, right. Catherine, we're winding out of time now. Let's want to know where people can find you. What's the best way for people that want more information about you and what you do in this field?
Well, the schoolofimages.org is the website. The schoolofimages.org, and there's a lot of information on the website. It's a new website, so it's growing as we speak. But mainly the most important information is already on it.
Okay, perfect. And of course the book, The Kabbalah of Light, yes. Available on Amazon where books are sold. Gosh, thanks for being on the program and really appreciate you taking the time to come and share.
So much. I really appreciate being able to talk to you.
Yes, likewise, Catherine. Come back anytime, okay?
Thank you. Thanks you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, folks, you see how always synchronistic. I hope you guys listen to the replays and in the archives. A lot of gems, what Catherine said really synchronistically fit in perfectly to some of the callers and some of the questions and issues. Kind of what she said really underscored also what I was sharing and what came through in the readings. Love you all so much. Lynn is saying, do you feel these activations are happening even when we may not perceive them, or is it important to be in meditative state? I feel that the activations are happening, but to allow them to more completely happen, we have to go with the energy, align to the energy, and know what's going on. Just like pausing, like we had that question from Colette, I think. Amlin, about tripping over oneself. You know, what's interesting, and in the type of transpersonal inner work that I do, we're taught the subtext. Like that's what's really going in our life. We have this subtext that we say, and sometimes it's easier to work with a therapist that can help you. But like, I'm tripping over myself, or I'm tripping over my words, or I tripped and fell, or I was racing around and I tripped. So that's a message from the subconscious, from the body, the higher self, and through the body wisdom. What's the subtext there? In other words, the message? You may be telling someone your story, but then if you know what to look for, there's a subtext, racing around and tripped. So what would that message be to you? Well, I would look at it as I need to slow down, maybe be more intentional in my steps, or do I need to meditate more? Did I need to journal? What do I need to do? There's a message there from my very own self. So the activations are happening, the potential for the activations, again, it depends how much clarity, how much inner work, if you're aware. Sometimes the inner work is just being aware. I want to take my focus away from that. That's draining me. See, inner work, yes, it's repatterning, it's emotional clearing, it's hypnotherapy, it's all of that. But beyond that, it's the day-to-day inner work and that's that meditation. It's getting in that meditative state, which might just be a contemplation to look and go, oh, I feel that from my intuition. That small, still voice is coming in, or it's bringing me an image that something is lessening in my life. So now instead of fighting it or freaking out about it, I can go, okay, my inner work now is what's picking up? Where do I feel more joy or fulfillment or an increase in energy? That's inner work. So it's inner vision. It's getting to the inner vision or the messages that are coming through and aligning to them. And then that allows the shifts to take place and the activations to take place. Because even if we have let's say a very traumatic experience, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to shift to a higher vibrational frequency of that experience and understanding of it or use of it until we bring in that inner work. We're just wired like that. It's the conscious and the subconscious coming together. So unless we bring it to conscious awareness, then no, it doesn't. But following the trajectory of the energy helps. Cool, Lynn. Thanks for bringing it all together. Yeah, so that's the activation. You can feel it. Now, what do you do? Sometimes it's just pausing and feeling the activation and going, wow, I feel this energy coming through me, or now I have a different point of view on this. Or I shifted and I'm thinking about this differently, or I really let this go. I really forgave. I really moved on from this. So it's our own inner awareness that really makes that shift, become a change. And the consciousness, it allows the activation to be embodied. That's what all that's about. It's about embodying the vibrational shifts. Right, embodying how to not only be present to it, but to anchor it. All right, Radiant Soul Light, you guys are so amazing. I love you all. Thanks in the chat for being here. Thanks everybody that is listening by phone, by replays, everyone that called in. Thanks for sharing you. Thanks for co-creating this. All right, wishing you so much love, light, wisdom, and sparkles, fun. Wishing you some fun, fulfillment and fun. And until next time, as always, continue to shine your light, share your insight. So important to share your insights. Keep shining.
Awakenings broadcast every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. Archive shows available on iTunes. For continued awakened conversations and insights, join the Awakenings group on Facebook. And check out Michelle's blog at soulplayground.com. And keep awake.